Well, hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us for our last session of SmartCon 2023. So really appreciate you and everybody making it out to Barcelona. This panel is kind of important to me because I really get to introduce you to some of the people that inspire me and make me want to do this day after day and year after year. So I hope that by the end of this, you know them a little bit better as well as I do. And if you end up coming to the event tonight, hopefully you'll come up and chat with me and maybe some of these other great people that are going to be there. So basically, to get us started, Dahlia, I'd love to start with you. What do you do at Chainlink Labs? And let us know a little bit about yourself.
All right. So hi, everyone. I'm Dahlia. I am a scientist at Chainlink Labs. And what I do, my day job, is to try to solve difficult problems.
Oh, Ben, how about yourself?
So I'm Ben. I am the VP of Engineering at Chainlink Labs. And what I do is I need to make sure that we have a great team, that they're really excited about the challenging problems that we have, and that they are set up for success.
Yeah, I work on the ecosystem side, so everything that's built, integrations, and ensuring we can provide services to everyone who needs them.
Yeah. And I'm Sarah. I lead our customer and event marketing team, so working to support the marketing for the ecosystem that Johan and his team is bringing into Chainlink, telling their stories, and supporting how they are talking about using Chainlink technology, as well as our event team, including SmartCon.
And I'm Todd Barr, the head of marketing at Chainlink Labs, and I too try to solve hard problems, but different problems than Dahlia solves. But we work with the community. We work with our users. We work on events like this to bring people together. And I think that's largely what we do in marketing, is we're trying to catalyze and bring together a community of people who can both use Chainlink and also get excited about Chainlink as a protocol and what it can do for the world.
All right, well, Sarah, let's start with you with this one. Looking back at last year, what's the one thing you're most proudest of?
Yeah, it's a good question. There's a lot we do every day, but for me, most recently, it was probably what we were able to accomplish at Sibos, which was just a couple weeks ago. If you're not familiar, Sibos is Swift's large global financial services conference. It's 10 or 15,000 people that come together in the financial services space, and it had been a big focus for us in the second half of the year to make sure from an events perspective, we showed up in the right way. And so that sort of, if you followed us on social media, you saw that we had an incredible booth experience. We had a ton of press coverage. We had speaking opportunities. We hosted an incredible networking event that was sort of a shining star at the event. In fact, we were told that people ended up coming to the party a little bit late because their colleagues had texted them and said they have to be there. And to me, I think, yes, the event itself was excellent, very well executed, but I actually felt that it really helped us take a pretty big step forward in accomplishing the goals that I think Sergey outlined yesterday with regard to Chainlink being how the financial services industry gets on chain. So personally, I was incredibly proud of that work.
Todd?
Yeah, just to add to that, I'm proud that we're being able to bring the suits and the T-shirts together. That's kind of why I pulled this off. And Sibos was great. I feel like we won that event in terms of, and I want to go back to the community a little bit here. You then took that and amplified it out to the world. So we tried to make really great content. You took that and ran with it, and it was fantastic. And I think that's the biggest accomplishment that I like over the last year, is that we've become more transparent with the community. So for example, just a couple things. Kamal now does quarterly product updates. That's a brand new thing for us this year. But it's provided a lot more transparency about what we're up to, where we're going, what are the timelines, and those types of things. And so we've received really good feedback from those type of activities. So I'm happy about that because it feels like it brings us closer together.
Dahlia, how about yourself?
Can I have two?
Yeah.
All right. So I'll say one personal and one on behalf of the company. So on a personal achievement, I just talked earlier in this auditorium about some advances that we've accomplished on the scientific side. And I really want to share this feeling where you look at a problem, a really difficult problem, not Todd problems, you know, a problem, problem
let's
that
talk about
expert,
climate
yeah,
control.
we can write a duel. No, but seriously, it just blows your mind away how our brains work. So you look at a problem as a community for decades, and everybody tweaks and optimizes, enhances it, and I'm part of that process. And suddenly, you see something that nobody else saw. That is a feeling that, you know, there's nothing that equals that. As a company, I'm going to double down on Cybus and the SWIFT experiment. So to those who don't know about the SWIFT experiment connected about 12 institutions in the traditional financial markets, the financial world, with DTCC through SWIFT, where CCIP, Chainlink CCIP, connected all of these entities to transfer tokens held by, you know, a banking institution on one chain to another, where DTCC, the you know, securities and settlement centralized authority in the US, was the issuer of these tokens. This was a remarkable experience, and going to Cybus and presenting there and talking to the people there, to me personally felt like walking into the lion's den. I mean, we come, crypto people, we were suited up, but we come to them to talk about CCIP and blockchains and all of this world. And that was an incredible experience. I found a lot of curiosity, a lot of interest, a lot of embracing of the technical advances that we bring, and really trying to think how we could bring efficiency and serve citizens and everybody in the world better with the kind of caution, with the kind of security, with the kind of reliability that usually comes from regulation and from being enshrined by governments, but in our field comes purely based on technical merit. So they are very welcoming and would like to understand and embrace it. And that was a huge moment.
Awesome. Ben?
I mean, I think what I'm proudest of is actually the team that, well, and everyone that came together to get data streams out this year. You know, I think we're all super happy about the impact. Yay, thank you. Thanks so much. I think they really deserve that. You know, we built data feeds at Chainlink, and it is one of the things that I think we're super happy about the impact for. And data streams is the next generation version of that product, which is going to be, well, is a lot more low latency, it's a lot more high frequency, and it's also a lot more inexpensive. And we've, you know, over the years, we've scaled as a team. The challenges that we've had have become more complex, but even so, all the different teams have come together to make it happen and in a relatively short amount of time, and I think that's something that's pretty awesome.
Awesome. Finishing up with Johan.
Yeah, a ton has happened in the last year. So just thinking about it, I think the GMX launch was huge. It was a month of work from both sides, and I think finally seeing this launch is a huge step for crypto, because finally we have a solution which can allow us to compete with derivative exchanges in the CeFi crypto world, right? And finally DeFi can catch up to this whole industry. So that's one. The build program was spun up in the last year, and build, for those who don't know, is around 70 projects which are committing some percentage of their token supply for Chainlink stakers, service providers. So this program went from 0 to 70 in the last few months, and that's what I'm extremely proud of, because I think a lot of these teams are building really meaningful stuff for the space, and we're really happy to be in this type of relationship with them. The third one is CCIP. So CCIP, in 3 months, we went from 0 to basically 60 users who are either live or integrating right now. So yeah, it's really these 3 things. Scale is another one, actually, scale where with blockchains we're working to ensure that gas costs for Oracle networks are fully taken care of by the blockchains, right? Which ensures that public goods like price feeds are economically sustainable. So I think in the last year, we've done a lot, and obviously the Cybos, Swift, you know, there is a lot. It's all a blur, but these 4 things I'm extremely happy for. I think they're a huge step forward for us and for the industry, actually.
All right, well, Johan, I'll kind of throw it back to you. Describe Chainlink in 1 sentence.
Chainlink is what makes the promise of blockchain come true. The blockchains can... Yeah. Yeah, that's it for me.
Sarah.
I mean, how do I follow that? I would agree exactly with what Johan said. I think for me, you know, if someone isn't as familiar with Chainlink, I say that we are the foundational technology to enable the blockchain Web3 ecosystem.
Todd?
The decentralized computing platform powering the verifiable web.
He works in marketing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, fonts and colors, that's what we do.
Dalia,
And parties.
Always
yes,
parties.
Exactly. Some of those are still hard problems. But basically, you know, Dalia, I'll start with you here. Chainlink is often referred to as the industry standard. What does that mean to you?
Well, so when you look up Wikipedia or dictionary, what is a standard versus what is a platform? Well, both of them brings communities to interconnect and interoperate broadly and become, you know, one technology or one place that the more entities, the more participants come to, the greater the benefit for everybody. But the difference between a standard and a platform is operated by some centralized entity, some service provider. And a standard is one that you form and gets adopted. And then everybody can participate in operating, and it's not controlled by a single provider. And so when referring to Chainlink as the standard, we have become the standard that others operate for things like price feeds, for the various services that we provide, connecting the world into blockchains, and we provide it openly. And it's come to a point where in a lot of ecosystems, a lot of blockchain worlds, the first question people would ask is, does your smart contract, does your app, is it compatible? Is it using already Chainlink price feeds? Is it using automation? How can I interconnect with you? So in one word, it's, or in one sentence, it's when people launch a new app chain, launch a new app on an existing blockchain, launch a new layer 2, the first thing they ask is it Chainlink enabled already?
All right. Johan, how about you?
Yeah, I think for the developers, it's actually providing a solution that's secure, that they can use, that they don't have to worry about 20 different solutions. They just have one solution which is proven to be secure, which is proven to be safe. And I think in our industry, it's critical to have safe and secure solutions for DeFi developers who are already worrying about 10,000 different problems. At least for price feeds, they have something secure. At least for cross-chains, they have something secure. I think this is an important point for people. So yeah, I think a standard is something that actually makes the industry move faster and makes the life of developers 10 times easier.
All right. Ben, kind of switching it up. If we did this panel 1 year from now, what are you going to be the most excited about?
Well, actually, I want to add on to what they were just talking about with the
Sure,
standard.
yeah, go ahead.
I think that right now, if you look at Chainlink Labs and what we've been launching, we've launched quite a few products in a short amount of time, things like data streams, CCIP, and functions. And the truth about it is that actually, when you first launch a product, you prioritize, making the first few integrations, right? And you prioritize making them secure and making them successful and scalable. But, initially at least, it takes a while for them to become a standard. And what that means is that, is it really at a point where it's so easy that anybody can integrate it? Has it reached that maturity point? And I think we've been making a lot of investments in making the different components of Chainlink more modularized. And then we'll be able to see some things in 1 year where someone's developing a service or a data feed, and all the existing chains that have integrated will be able to use that data feed. And you'll also see things where, we'll see a situation where new blockchains will be able to integrate Chainlink themselves, and they'll be able to connect to that existing network. And we can then really start building that network effect and building on that standard. So I think that's what I'm most excited about.
Todd, throwing that one to you.
Next year, right?
Next
what
year.
we're talking about?
Yeah.
I think one of the big things is we're going to be showcasing a lot more examples of tokenized real-world assets from institutions that have transacted using CCIP cross-chain. So I'm not saying it's going to be mainstream by then, but I'm saying over the next year you're going to see real transactions on-chain and more examples of that are going to really change people's thinking about what's possible. And so I think next year we'll have even more financial institutions and digital assets people talking about those stories next year.
All right. Well, as we kind of finish it up, I'll just ask people some really quick questions, maybe rapid fire, so they can answer this as they best see fit. Johan, I'll start with you. Favorite book?
Yeah, so I like history and I'm French, so my favorite book is actually a book written by Voltaire in the 18th century called The Century of Louis XIV, which is a French king from this era, and it's very interesting. It basically tells you, okay, there were 4 ages which were good for humanity: the Greek age, the Roman age, the Renaissance in Italy, and then he goes over the 18th century for France. So, bit of a weird book, but very, very nice, and I learned a lot with this one.
All right. Ben, favorite movie of all time?
My favorite movie of all time is Ratatouille. And
Yeah. All right, yeah.
a lot of people think it's about a rat that can cook, but
It is.
I think it's a bit more. For me, the movie was about, showcasing craftsmanship, and they have a saying in the movie which is like, anyone can cook. And actually, I think when I was watching that, I was like, actually, it's more than anyone can cook. I think it's like anyone can make or anyone can build. And I think that, it extends very well to everything else that you do, right? So right now we're living in, this world where anyone can build an application, a decentralized application, and they can get funded for it, and they can go very, very far from it and with it. And today, you don't have to ask for permission because we have a blockchain. It's all just so open. And this will become more and more powerful, right? As we connect more and more things to that chain, and you can get more and more impact. So then anyone can build, anyone can build even more things. So I really like that movie.
That was profound.
Yes. I liked how your favorite movie is connected to blockchain. How did you
Yes.
manage to do that?
It's impressive.
All right, Sarah, you can try to connect this answer to blockchain. Are you a night owl or an early bird?
Oh, well, I don't know if I can connect it to blockchain, but I think earlier in my life I was a night owl, but now I'm an early bird. I cannot sleep in, so I've embraced that early bird life.
It's because you're getting up early to see what's been said about Chainlink on Twitter.
Always.
Sorry, X.
I'm like not even
Right.
out of bed, right?
Right.
You're on your phone
Yes.
scrolling Twitter or X.
Todd, favorite sports team?
The University of North Carolina in the USA is pretty famous for its basketball team, the Tar Heels. Most famous players, Michael Jordan, who played on the Dream Team in the 1992 Barcelona Olympics. So at least I brought it back to Barcelona.
You did. Thank you for that. Let's see. Dahlia, if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I'm going to answer in a minute. I just want to say, Ratatouille, there's something really profound in that movie that you didn't highlight. So I found in Ratatouille, they took the least expected creature and made it a protagonist and made everybody love a rat.
Yeah.
And there's something really profound in that. Don't you agree?
Yeah, it could be from anywhere. Yeah.
All right. If I have to live on one food, it would be babka cakes, I guess. Of course.
All right, that's
Rory, what's your favorite food?
I was curious.
Oh man, my favorite food. I'd say probably pizza because there's so many different varieties, so I could rotate it, and I've definitely had my fair share. I'm trying to have less of it lately.
And how does that connect to blockchain?
I'm sure someone will put pizza on blockchain, or so. I mean, there's Pizza DAO, so I guess that's how I'll connect it to blockchain. But basically, as we finish up here, I just want to again thank everybody for making it out here. It's because of you that I'm allowed to do what I love, and I don't have a lot of time to recognize that all the time. So thank you for allowing me to do something that's really special. Like, to me, this is like, landing on Mars type stuff that I get to do every single day, and it's only because of you that I get to do that. So again, thank you very much for making that happen for me. Special shout out around SmartCon. There's a lot of things that come together to make this happen, but from the community that supports us, which is all of you, the engineers that help build this technology, like Ben's team, that really enable this to make this happen, people that work in our ecosystem, like Johan and Sarah, to basically have users so that we can do this, hopefully, forever. At least that's kind of my goal. And basically all our great speakers, some of which that flew from literally around the world to come and be part of this conference, which again, that's pretty special. When someone flies for 36 hours to come be part of this conference, to do a 20-minute talk, like that's a level of commitment. And I really respect and really appreciate the people that do that. This takes about a year to put together. It may not look like that, it's 2 days. But this literally takes a year to put together. And, special shout out to Lily, who's not here on stage with us, but basically kind of ran the whole show. Todd, Kevin, Evan, Mickey, and Sarah, along with everyone else at Chainlink Labs, who again worked tirelessly to make this happen. This is something I can be proud of, and I really hope they feel the same way. I don't think there's those things that happen 1,000 times in your life that you're genuinely proud of. This is one of those moments for me, so thank you for making that happen. And lastly, SmartCon After Dark, 9 p.m. The venue is incredible. You got to be there. I'll be there. Come up to me and talk to me. I'd love to chat with you. A few things to just notice if you do show up. Make sure to bring a government-issued ID. Bring your SmartCon badge. That's important. And last thing, bags aren't allowed in the venue. It's going to be absolutely full to the max. So we just want to make sure everything's safe and there's plenty of room, and show up early because it will absolutely be packed. So again, thank you for a great SmartCon. I hope to do it again next year. We'll hopefully release pretty soon where we're thinking about doing it next year. And I'd love to hopefully have you join us. So appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.